Hey guys, what's up? It's Matt Gamer here, back at it again with another episode of the Under Center Podcast. Today we're here at Under Center Podcast, episode number 11, I believe. Today is simply another 7-round mock draft for the Detroit Lions. Told you I'll be getting it out soon to you, and I have it ready to go. I was going to do some wild card predictions, but I just couldn't get a chance to record. I've been really busy last few days at school. So, I finally got a day to record. It's Saturday. I'm watching the Bills-Colts game as we speak. But I'm going to list off my 2021 Detroit Lions 7-round mock draft. I'm going to wait to do a lot more draft content for the Lions until, free agency starts, I think. But just because of the fact that if Kenny Galladay or Marvin Jones and those guys leave, the Lions can get some compensatory picks. And that could change the landscape of this mock draft a little bit. So, there'll be a lot more free agency content on the way. I'll continue to do weekly episodes. I'm going to talk about Jim Harbaugh in a separate episode just because I believe that deserves its own episode specifically. Maybe I might have my friend on, talk about recruiting and the new DC hire, and there'll be a Michigan football episode coming soon, trust me. But let's get right into the mock draft. Round 1, pick number 7, Detroit Lions will select Micah Parsons, linebacker at Penn State. This is a wishful pick for sure. I'm not doing the Draft Network, I'm doing this on my own. I believe that he could still be here at pick 7 just because of the run they could take on receivers and quarterbacks in the top picks. You gotta imagine Trevor Lawrence going number 1, then Penei Sewell is gonna go in the top 5. Ja'Marr Chase will go in the top 5. So that's 3 dudes. I gotta imagine Trevor Lawrence, Penei Sewell, Ja'Marr Chase, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson. Because, it's every single year someone trades up in the draft to get quarterback. And Zach Wilson and Justin Fields are 2 good quarterbacks that people are going to want. So that's my prediction. I think that he'll slip all the way down to 7, where the Lions will take him. And the team that I think will be the team that would take him before us would probably be Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia go to play like Devontae Smith. Or maybe even Patrick Surtain. That's kind of the landscape of my mindset here about him slipping this far. But yeah, Micah Parsons, home run hit. I don't know if he's necessarily a Mike linebacker in the NFL. I think he's more of a Sam. But, I don't know. He's a good, very talented linebacker. You can do everything. You can rush the passer a little bit. You can cover a little bit. You can stop the run. He's just a 3-down linebacker to the T. Great player. Very excited. If the Lions got him in real life, I'd be stoked. Great linebacker. Best linebacker in the draft. Round 2, pick number 41. I'm taking Terrace Marshall, wide receiver at LSU. I watched a lot of film on him today when I was making this pick because I know they need a wide receiver. This is under the assumption, by the way, since we didn't have QB at 7, this is under the assumption that Matthew Stafford is staying on team and they're retooling instead of rebuilding, or they are trying to retool at least that team. I don't know what they'll do there. But, so, Terrace Marshall replaces Kenny Galladay or Marvin Jones, or even both of them if they both leave. So receiver would be a gaping need for them. I'm going to assume that they take a receiver in the top 3 rounds of this draft this year. Terrace Marshall, big body guy, big catch radius, runs solid routes, has good speed, not phenomenal speed, but makes plays the ball in his hands, can do a little bit of everything. I like it. Very versatile player. He's the number 1 guy. He's a number 1 receiver in the NFL. I'm not saying day 1, but once he develops, I think he'll develop into a number 1 nicely for Detroit. The only concern I have with him when I watch his film is he does tend to body catch, kind of like Marvin Jones in the sense that he kind of reminds me of Marvin Jones in that sense, really. He body catches sometimes, where I think if he just stuck his hands out and caught the ball, it'd be an easy catch. But he body catches, and it scares me because Marvin Jones used to do the same thing. He's grown out of it a little bit since his time in Detroit started, but he used to body catch a lot, and he used to have a lot of drops because he'd try and catch it with the ball with his body too much. But I'm only concerned. Other than that, I think this guy is definitely a good pick at pick number 41. Round 3, pick number 72. I have the Detroit Lions taking Carlos Basham, edge player at Wake Forest. Simply put it here, I've seen a lot of people are starting to get lower on Carlos Basham. I don't necessarily understand it 100%. I think he's my edge 3 in the draft, or edge 4 maybe. So top 4 edge player in the draft. Get him pick number 72, great value. He's a guy 6'5", 275. This is under the assumption as well that Robert Saleh will probably be a head coach, which will mean our defense will be a 4-3 and not a 3-4. And for a 4-3, he's a perfect edge player for a 4-3. Long, just a talented player. Just 3rd round, you can get a player who can potentially be an impact player in your defense. You got to take that opportunity. Carlos Basham. I don't know. He might not be there, but the way things are now, I can see him being there. So, round 4, pick number 102 in the draft. The Detroit Lions select Trey Sermon, running back out of Ohio State. you'll be saying, what's going on here? What's going on here, TMG? The Lions already have a running back. It's DeAndre Swift and Kerryon Johnson, Adrian Peterson. Be real, guys. Kerryon Johnson's washed up. It sucks. I was a huge fan of Kerryon Johnson coming out of the draft in his first couple years in the Lions. But you're on year 3. He's wearing a knee brace. He's just not what he was his rookie year. So even his second year in the league, he's taken tremendous steps back as a running back. He's a good pass protector, offers a little bit of receiving ability out of the backfield, but he just is not the player that he was coming out of college. And then you take into also consideration Adrian Peterson's like 30, was he 34, 33? I don't know. He's old. He's really old. The running back years is like 85. Trey Sermon, a guy who's gotten limited playing time at Ohio State, transferred from Oklahoma. He's been dominant. Athletic freak. Runs the ball through low center of gravity with power, good balance, good vision, obviously great athleticism. That's your power back. That's your compliment to DeAndre Swift, so he's not taking so many carries up the middle. That's your between the tackles guy. DeAndre Swift's your feature guy. This guy's your change of pace. DeAndre Swift gives you the ability out of the backfield. I think Trey Sermon does a little bit. Obviously not like DeAndre Swift does. But, I mean, you're going to have a guy who's going to be a very quality second back to DeAndre Swift, getting him in the 4th round because of the fact that he hasn't, had a ton of production in college. A guy who's tremendously talented nonetheless. In round 4, I mean, I can see them going with the quarterback here. I think Kyle Trask could still be in round 4. People are going to tell me I'm crazy. I have him as my QB5 in the draft. But I feel like he definitely could be there, guys. I mean, you think of a guy like Jacob Eason last year. He was like the 5th or 6th QB in the draft, people thought. 5th probably. 5th best QB in the draft. He slid to like round 4 or 5 to the Colts. I mean, I would not be surprised if since he's kind of ended his college career with all the losing. I mean, I still think he's definitely a talented player for sure. I could see that same kind of stigma around him though. Because, I mean, people were talking about as a top 15 pick for it once upon a time. Then he lost. And lost again. And then he lost to Oklahoma. In that, probably one of the worst games of his career, of his 2020 season. But, I mean, honestly, I do like Kyle Trask, I think, more than most people do. But, I mean, I could see him just the way that these drafts tend to, fall with quarterbacks. Guys like him, he fits the mold of a guy who's talented, but people are kind of scared of because of the fact that he only has 1 year of really good production in college. He played with a really good offense, a lot of weapons. Tremendously talented for sure. I think he's a very talented player. Lacks mobility. But, I mean, not every single QB needs to be super mobile. But, I mean, he's the same mobility. He's got the same mobility tier as, like, Matthew Stafford right now. Like, I have to believe that when I watch him play. But, talented guy. But I'm going to stick with Trey Sermon here. Sorry, I went off into a tangent like we were going to draft him. Trey Sermon is the pick here. Hands down. Great value pick for the Lions. I think he'd be a guy who could be a legitimate NFL running back. Round 5, pick number 136, and the final pick of the draft is Monty Rice, linebacker from Georgia. He was a Mike linebacker at Georgia. Great athlete, I think 235, 240 pounds. Kind of like a Jared Davis 2.0 player. Athletic. Sideline to sideline guy. Makes a lot of plays. Just a pretty solid college linebacker. A guy who I think could be a true Mike. Who could come step in and be a true Mike for the Lions. Not maybe as a starter day 1 as a 5th round pick, but a guy that could be a definite depth player and a depth upgrade over what we have. I like Monty Rice. I've liked him for the last year or two when I've been watching some Georgia, Roquan Smith and all them. Probably wasn't Roquan Smith. I mean, I don't know if he was playing when Roquan Smith was there. Whatever. But I've seen him on film, watching other Georgia players play, and I like the way he plays. So that's my last pick, guys. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. That's my 7-round mock draft. Thank you for watching this video or listening to this podcast. However you're doing this. If you like the Lions and like the NFL in general, I mean, this is definitely a specifically Lions-specific channel, I'd say. But, I mean, if you like the Lions, if you like draft content in general, because I'll be doing a 32-pick mock draft here in the coming days, probably next week or two, just when the playoffs get a little bit closer to the end of it so we can get a more accurate draft order. But, yeah, if you like the draft, if you like the Lions especially, please consider subscribing. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.